So, in Kingdom Hearts 2, there was a secret ending video that could be unlocked, where you see these three armored figures standing in a wide barren field that's filled with Keyblades, and all sorts of enigmatic words appear on screen, including the phrase, Keyblade War. That was intriguing enough, but then the Final Mix version had a follow-up video where these armored people waged this grand, over-the-top Keyblade battle with this super-powered, obviously evil old guy and his masked apprentice. The dark atmosphere, the epic music, the stylized violence. It suggested a bold new direction for the series going forward, and the fans were hyped. There was so much excitement generated by this video, I can still remember it so vividly. Everyone was looking forward to what they thought was going to be Kingdom Hearts 3. And then it turned out that this video wasn't promoting Kingdom Hearts 3 at all. It was promoting Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, another oddly titled spin-off for a portable gaming system, this time the PSP. Talk about an absolute letdown. The mass disappointment from the fans was palpable. But by the time the game was released at the very start of 2010, many had recovered enough to give it a try regardless. So how is it? It's good. In fact, it's really good. But it just can't shake off being underwhelming. First off, the story is incredibly unoriginal. It was conceived by Tetsuya Nomura in 2005, as development was finishing on KH3. You know what else came out in 2005? Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith. Clearly, Nomura saw the movie and was inspired to basically rip it off. And don't deny that he wouldn't do that. This is the man who, before being taken off of Final Fantasy XV, was going to turn it into a musical after having seen the 2012 film adaptation of Les Miserables. And so we get this Jedi-esque order of Keyblade Masters who preserve peace and order in the galaxy with a master and apprentice dynamics and a strong but emotionally stunted young man who, in trying to protect what he loves, is manipulated into embracing the darkness within him by a sinister old man, which only causes him to lose what he loves and directly leads to the conflict witnessed in an earlier trilogy. It's Revenge of the fucking Sith. This wouldn't be too bad except for the fact that the game's dialogue is also on par with George Lucas's writing. Masaru Oka is the event director of this game like he was in KH2, but he's now also the scriptwriter, and by God does he present us with the hokiest, most awkward and artificial-sounding dialogue this series has ever seen. Roxas's line about ice cream to a dying Shion looks masterful by comparison. And then we have the main characters themselves, Terra, Ventus, and Aqua. In a neat twist, the game's story is spread out between 3 different playable story modes, starring each of these characters, with Terra prioritizing strength, Ven prioritizing speed, and Aqua prioritizing magic. Unfortunately, I just cannot bring myself to care about them the way the story demands that I do. The emotional investment just isn't there. Part of it is the awkward dialogue and voice acting for them. Part of it is that we barely spend enough time with them individually or together before they're off on their quests, so a lot about what we learn about them and their friendship is from statements made rather than anything seen firsthand. And part of it is also that, while they are likable enough, they all keep making the stupidest possible decisions to the point where they kind of deserve the doom that befalls them. The tragedy of Roxas, Shion, and Axel in 358 Days Over 2 was how inevitable their fates end up seeming. Whereas here, you can't help but feel like there was nothing inevitable about any of this. Terra, Ven, and Aqua could have easily avoided their tragedy if they just used their goddamn brains more often. The villain's Master Xehanort, voiced to perfection by the late great Leonard Nimoy, actually comes off as a more enjoyable character as a result, since at least he's being smart. On a technical level, this game is one of the better in the Kingdom Hearts series. Not on par with the original game or KH2, but very close. Not only are the graphics on par with those games, but the gameplay is superb. The combat system has so much going for it, with the command deck, command styles, shot lock attacks, D-links, and the rest of the gameplay is great too, with the useful command board minigame, collectible stickers in every world, Mirage Arena challenges. This game is just packed to the brim with gameplay content, and this makes it really fun to play. The only glaring flaw would have to be level design. Remember how the original Kingdom Hearts had wide-open, platform-friendly worlds based around exploration, and how KH2 had more controlled, enclosed worlds where each area being an arena for combat was the priority? Well, both of those styles of level design worked fine for those games, but Birth by Sleep tries to merge the two and it just doesn't work. You'll be caught up in trying to explore the world's KH1 style until suddenly you realize that you can't jump onto this ledge, or you can't climb this roof, or you can't swim in that body of water, because the level is now restricting you KH2 style. This creates an uncanny valley effect and totally breaks your immersion in these worlds. When you accepted that a game was going with just one style of level design, it was easy to stay immersed and enjoy playing through those worlds. But when a game tries to have its cake and eat it too like this, it kind of spoils the magic. Also, the Disney worlds themselves aren't much to write home about either. Aside from the optional mini-game-based world of Disney Town, we only have the worlds of Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Hercules, Lilo and Stitch, and Peter Pan. For the first three I mentioned, the main characters have a plot-based reason to be there, but then don't do much of anything except awkwardly stand around as the story of these worlds' respective movies plays out. There are totally new stories for the other three worlds, but the main characters have no reason whatsoever to be there. The plot just gives up trying to justify the visits to the Disney worlds. Some of the trips to the Disney world in KH2 felt like filler, but even they were connected to a major theme of that game. Here, damn near all of the Disney worlds feel like filler, as if they're only here out of obligation rather than passion. As a result, the Kingdom Hearts universe feels less cohesive, as if the story and characters made exclusively for the series are in their own little reality that has no real impact on the Disney stuff, and vice versa. The biggest problem I have with Birth by Sleep, however, is a much more damning one than any I've previously listed. And that would be all the retconning it does to the stories of the previous games and the effect it has on the series' narrative. It'd be too hard to get into all of it here, but let's just say that before this game, the series' narrative was a simple, straightforward one about Sora and his friends going on adventures in a universe that crossed over Disney and Final Fantasy. After this game, it became something incredibly convoluted, pretentious, and devoid of emotional connections. You no longer care about what happens with the story and the characters, because you know that Nomura could just change it all on a whim. The game's unlockable secret ending video epitomizes this problem. After playing KH2 and watching its secret ending video, I felt just as thrilled and excited about the future of the series as most fans did. After playing Birth by Sleep and watching its secret ending video, I pretty much felt the exact opposite way. In the end, Birth by Sleep is a good game. It's an enjoyable game that is well worth playing despite its flaws, whether that be the original PSP version or the PS3 and PS4 port used in the HD collections. On the surface, it's all goodness and light. But man, for all the Kingdom Hearts series talks about light within the darkness, I think that this game embodies there being darkness within the light. And make no mistake, that darkness is what consumed the Kingdom Hearts series for the following decade.